Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We got Danish with us today, one of the recent student successes. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Luke?
I'm doing pretty good. So you kind of just crossed 5K, and in this video, we're going to talk about his journey getting to crossing 5K in revenue. And I mean, this seemed like you did it in your first month after launching the product. Is that right?
Yeah. So I basically got in touch with you. I think it was around July or so, June or July. Took the course, did some product research, and launched at the start of September, and just crossed 5K 2 days ago.
Wow. And so we're going to kind of touch on what he did to maybe find his product or different things that got him to where he's at. But we're also going to touch on kind of some of the hurdles he had to jump because, I mean, I don't want to always be talking about courses out here, but it's like you need to learn what you're doing before you get into this. I've heard so many people say, oh, I bought a bunch of hand sanitizer and I bought, face masks, and Amazon has all these weird product restrictions. It's not like eBay or anything like that. So Danish, can we first just touch on like why it's kind of important to do your due diligence before you get into selling on Amazon, just before we get into you making all the money?
Well, first of all, you do need to do product research. You do need to know what you're gonna get into. And Helium 10 is amazing for that, black box, and just looking at different niches. And obviously with time you get better at that. You get better at judging a good product from a bad product. That's when I think having someone to ask and just someone to make sure about things really helps. So just like validation, product validation, I think is really key, because you may be seeing really good numbers, but then you have to look at the full picture. So having somebody there to just validate your ideas.
That's so true, man. Like I've seen so many people that, once they finish my course, we can hop on a quick call and they're like, they found all these good ideas. And without maybe me giving them that little nudge of confidence, they would have never taken that stab at something. So that's what we talked about with your product. And you made a cool bundle. And I always talk about making a good bundle, and that helps you stand out from other people. You also did something with your images that was really good when you showed me your product compared to others. And that's probably one of the big reasons you did to stand out. Otherwise, what did you do with your bundle that was so much different? Did you find the items that sold well and kind of combine them, or?
Yeah, essentially I created a bundle that was really different from everybody else in the niche. So I had more items than anybody else in the niche. And it was pretty much a one-stop shop. So people didn't really have to go out and look for items outside of that. And people really appreciated that, and you could see that in the reviews.
So what did you do for your review email follow-up? Or was it email follow-up, or how'd you do that?
So I did two things. Number one, I did the early reviewer program. I got a couple of reviews through that. And then number two, I did have the follow-up sequence under Helium 10. And, that's been sending emails regularly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was you that said that was your favorite video in the course update or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just simple things like that, the Amazon's always updating what it's doing. And if you don't have your emails getting sent out, I imagine you started just racking up sales like crazy, and you probably did some PPC work. But as you're getting those sales, if you're not having an automated email sent out, you're just throwing away possible precious reviews, which are going to help kind of anchor your product up in the pages. Can you tell us more about kind of your PPC strategy and something kind of simple for people to understand?
Yeah, absolutely. So PPC, pay-per-click, was very profitable for me. I learned something really useful from Luke, which is trying low bid campaigns. And that's actually been working really well. My launch was really profitable. My ACOS was about around 10, 11%. So it pretty much remained at 9, 10, 11%, 12 max. So, I made a profit throughout the first month. And I did have product targeting, ASIN targeting campaign as well, which was really effective as well. I got quite a few sales from that.
And you were saying, how'd you find the keywords that you put in your campaigns? Was it straight automatic the entire time, or did you do a manual from the get-go? And what brought you into the product targeting campaign?
So product targeting was basically looking for different products in my niche that had either 0 reviews or very few reviews and targeting them, or products that I was sure that I could compete against and they were not as good as mine. In terms of the keywords, when you order your product, I think it's really wise to start doing keyword research and make a list of good keywords to target, and then organize those into exact, broad, and phrase match, and just make sure that you target those.
Yeah, and it's so easy when you're using something like Cerebro from Helium 10. You literally just take your top competitors, they have a little ASIN, their product identifier, you just plug that into Cerebro, press get keywords, and you'll see all the main keywords that are making these people the sales. And you can see which page rank all those keywords are showing up for. And you can do that on your own listing too, and see where your own listing is starting to show up on certain pages, maybe get ideas on keywords you need to push more ads into, or lighten up on other ads because you're already organically showing up there. And I will have Helium 10 linked down below for anyone. It is an affiliate link, so whatever you do, I mean, if you get it through there, it's going to support the channel a lot. And I know Danish also has his own channel, which I think, I'm not sure how many videos you made there so far, but we'll link his channel down below as well. And I just want to try and give everyone a voice that's out here. And this guy just started within the last 4 months or so, and it's something that where I like getting that raw new perspective from new guys out here, because you go to these bigger channels, they're just going to give you like some broad stuff, but usually the newer guys will give you like some in-depth crazy golden nuggets all the time. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I did a course review about your course, and I think it's fairly in depth, so I definitely recommend viewers to check that out.
Yeah. So other than that, like, what was just the feeling of making that money, making your first sales? Give it to someone who's just sitting on the fence here. Like, how invigorating is it to realize that there's random people buying your product because you did the research, you saw the keyword was making sales, you saw the products were making sales, you just made a better bundle. And then how was that to just put your ideas to the test and see that money roll in, man?
So passive income is really nice. It's a really good feeling. You do the work up front, and then you just refresh your sellers app, and you just see people buying your product. If you've done the research properly, it's really nice.
Yeah, it really does pay off. And then yourself now how limitless this can be, and the scalability, since Amazon is shipping everything out to the customers. You're not doing drop shipping. You're not making your own website, hoping people are going to click on it from a Facebook ad, wasting thousands of dollars to make thousands of dollars. So you're essentially almost breaking even. You're building something on the back of one of the biggest companies in the planet right now. And you know that you can now make a couple more products and start rinsing and repeating. So do you have other items in the pipeline or something that you want to do, or you're just trying to hammer this one out?
So I do have other items in the pipeline, but at the moment, the current product, I am encountering some hurdles on the path. Just trying to deal with those. I remember you did a video with Brandon Pate, and B Pate did mention something really important, that he said that basically Amazon FBA is all about solving problems. So you solve one problem, then you move forward, you solve another problem, and then once you get better at solving simple problems, you're faced with more complicated problems. So it's just about overcoming obstacles, overcoming hardships. So although my product is going through some challenges right now, I'm sure I'm gonna keep on fighting it, make sure that I get over it, and then as soon as that's back to selling as regular, launch a few more after that.
Awesome. And yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people will just ask really easy questions that you can type into Google. You want to be active and use what Kevin David, one of the other big Amazon sellers, started the same time as me. He says, use the gin mentality. Google it now. Just Google it. You're going to find the answers that way. And kind of touching on some of your hurdles, I think it's important to bring up because you can also steer people away from it if they create their own, product design. And this is something where he had a design that was basically generic, which was sold across many, many different sellers. He didn't think there was going to be an issue. He told me about it up front. I was like, yeah, you're probably not going to have a problem with that. But I think what you made was such a good listing that the top guy in there was literally like, holy crap, this item looks slightly similar to ours, and they filed a IP or copyright infringement on them just on the back of like basically a false claim. But Amazon kind of shoots first and asks questions later. So what you were telling me you would do different, kind of, create that different design, and you still have the opportunity to work with your supplier to maybe create a little design for a second and, send the rest of your inventory in with that new design. But you want to hammer this out first, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to just like keep trying and keep, hammering at it. And eventually, if you keep at it, you do get over obstacles and problems.
And Brian Pate literally just got his main listing back up as well. He had such huge success, kind of like your product took off, and he had hijackers. So he had a generic item again. I don't even know if he had his own logo on it, but he started making all these sales. He had people jump on that listing, and he did get the trademark on it. He did get brand registry, and it took him like 30 appeals or something to get all these people finally off, and he got it back. But he didn't give up for months, man. And this is, you know, I don't want to make Amazon seem like, hey, every time you get a successful product, there's going to be hurdles, but it's only your first product. Like, imagine where you're going to be in a year or something.
Absolutely.
I
You
mean,
get
this is just the beginning, man. So,
Well, Amazon FBA is such a big opportunity that I think like even if you have to overcome some problems and have to find solutions to issues, it's worth it because in the long run, you're gonna learn from it, you're gonna grow from it. Um, and if you come in with low expectations, you really have, the sky's the limit. Like you're just gonna keep on getting better. You're just gonna keep on launching more products, and you can definitely get really far.
yeah, that's the thing. Come in, thinking worst case scenario. When I'm checking profits, with the Helium 10 calculator, I'm like, what's the worst thing that can ever happen here? And then you always see, wow, I could literally undercut everyone else by like 80% and still make my money back at the end of the day and sell out of this item. And did you start with just a test order? How did you go about, were there any issues or things you ran into your suppliers, or how many suppliers did you message? What was your supplier experience like and getting the right price point?
I messaged quite a few suppliers. I was really lucky to find a really good supplier who is very supportive. So even like if I have any questions or if I need anything done, differently, he's always available to do that. So finding a good supplier is really, really important. Ordered about 200 units because obviously of the quantity restrictions right now because of the pandemic. But I think even outside of it, I think ordering 200 units for your first batch is a good idea. And then, see how it goes. And then you can always, order more the next time.
Yeah, exactly. Now, were there any things you did to get a lower price? Did they give you a higher price and did you find a way to lower it or anything? Did you have to negotiate much, or was it just from the get-go you're going with their price?
Well, when judging different suppliers, I looked at many different things. So the price, but also how good they were in terms of communication skills, and also like, what they were providing, the quality of the product that they were providing. Getting samples is a good idea sometimes as well. And I didn't have to negotiate. And I don't think, in most cases, it's better not to negotiate because that can affect the quality of the product. So just, find suppliers that are reasonable, and most of them are fairly honest and, genuine.
Yeah, and as long as you're buying through Alibaba Trade Assurance, that's something where you can ask for a refund or you can file a dispute if the product's a piece of crap. Which your suppliers aren't going to want to do that. You're going to want to stress to them that you're going to make a good product that's going to sell well, so that you come back and buy more from them. And even a way to expedite the sample thing, if it's an item that you already see that exact thing selling on Amazon, you can just ask for photos of it. If it's electronics, have them send a quick video, show them how it works, not
Yeah.
just use the listing images. Like, take an actual photo of the product, see the
Mhm.
thickness of it, the density, if it's real quality, and then you're like, okay, that could save me some time on 2 weeks or a week to get the sample, and an extra 100 something bucks. But you can always, if you do get a sample, say, hey, write that cost off the total order amount. Since I paid $100 for this, I'm going to buy from you, just subtract $100. You can do. Did you actually order samples?
Well, I did order a sample, but that was for my photographer just to take the photos. So technically that was the sample, but I didn't order it for myself because I'd say it really depends on the product. In some cases, you really do need samples, but in other cases, you can do without them, as long as you can see it in the photos.
Now, your photos were really good. Did you find this person on Fiverr? Did you know him personally? How'd you get your product photos done?
So I actually found him through a mutual friend, so a contact.
Okay.
But I think looking through like Facebook groups or people that you know are sellers is a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. And when you do get in a course or something like that, they oftentimes have a Facebook group and you can ask other people where they're getting their images. I know I just kind of developed a new Discord chat for people to go over there and even have a second form of communication. You know, it's off of Facebook's platform. And with all the data sharing and things like that happening these days, it's kind of good to just keep your combos maybe under wraps if you're talking about sensitive info. But you know, the world's growing at a really fast rate right now, and it's like, you know, people haven't had jobs for 10 months out here, man, and we're steady grinding and building our own income. So I hats off to you, hats off to anyone else that's out here taking this effort and learning from the obstacles that face them, man. Like I've done it too. I don't even need to begin on, you know, family life and all this, but man, like life is crazy and you can't sit around and be a victim or you're not going to win. So
Yeah,
any
that's
any
true.
other any other kind of notes you want to touch on here? Advice for first timers sitting on the fence. They hear kind of in this call money to be made, but obstacles. Like you already kind of said, facing the obstacles is worth it, and just the self-reliance that you build up and the self-esteem you get from accomplishing these goals is unparalleled with anything else I've ever done in my life. But I don't
Well,
know.
you have to take initiative, so you have to take the first step first of all, and then challenges make you grow. You don't grow in the comfort zone. When you face obstacles and problems and you fix them and you solve them, you you learn new skills, you grow. It's uncomfortable, but that's how you move on to the next level. You become a better person and you learn something new. So it's the only way to really move forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I just thought of one other thing I wanted to ask. How much does it cost to start Amazon? You know, you started with a more of a low ticket entry level type thing, even though you're still selling it at a decently high price. You know, how much does it start with a course, a software?
Roughly between, I would say, $3,000 to $5,000 is safe. Sometimes you can do less, but I feel like because of cash flow and just like being in a good, safe financial place is really useful if you are a beginner. Um, Having at least 5,000 US dollars to start off is a good idea, at least.
Yeah,
And the
and
more you have, the better.
exactly. And the cash flow thing is like you had 200 units. Now, if you have 100 units, they sell out really fast. Maybe you lose some of your ranking. You're out of stock for a week or two. And, you know, some people, when they do that and they're slow, extra slow, it takes them a month to get back in. It's never the same. They can never rank their product up like they used to. But that's why you're looking for markets overall that aren't that competitive. And if you make a good bundle, it's something that, you know, no one else is really going to have to be able to copy easily. And doesn't matter if you have 3 reviews, 5 reviews, whatever, people will find it and buy it if it's worth it.
Yep, absolutely.
So thank you so much, Danish, for hopping on the call, man. I really look forward to see what becomes of this product. And man, yeah, more power to you when you get it done. We'll probably hop on another call later, but everybody just go check out his channel down below. Maybe if you have some free time, I know you're busy with a lot of stuff right now, but you can, you know, give people some insight on anything you're facing or, you know, product research tips, anything like that. We all love to hear it, man. You do make really good videos. So
Sounds good for sure.
awesome. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you're here till the end, big hats off to you guys as well. Please drop a thumbs up and we will see you in the next one. Peace out.